Anglesey Circuit in beautiful, beautiful North Wales. Where else do you get a view like this when you're enjoying your racing? Welcome to Thundersport Plus.
Welcome to Anglesey. It's round 7 of the championship for 2016. Next up, the Dymag Wheels Golden Era Superbikes. On the right there, turning up first is Ryan Strafford. Fresh from a recent victory in the class and certainly having an Indian summer in this championship, going along nicely the second half of the season. Nice to see Blunty back. Richard Blunt, former champion, last year's runner-up. Not been able to attend every round this year. It's always good when he does. There's Martin Stanier, 121, Richie Harrison, number 48, number 6, Nick Williamson is back with us as well. The man they're all trying to catch, of course, is that man, number 1, the backseat heating Yamaha rider John Dieterman, the champion from last year and the championship leader from this year as well. Richard Blunt, second going into turn 1, despite having pole position. On board here with Kawasaki rider Richie Thornton, who's battling for second overall in the championship with Ryan Strafford at this moment in time, as they now exit the banking and head towards Church Corner. Sid's with me here in the box as we see Vince Carlton there on the Ducati just up behind Richie Harrison, but Dieterman has the early lead with Strafford and Thornton really fighting away. There comes Blunty up into third place. Sid, always great to have Blunty here with us as we ride with Richie Thornton. It's just a shame that he's not been able to attend all the rounds because John Dieterman at times this year has had some challenges, but consistently we've not had someone constantly knocking at his door.
No, that's right. Obviously, we know Blunty has. I always think of Blunty as the fireball. Do you remember that back a couple of years ago?
Yeah, it was here, wasn't it? Yeah.
When his bike caught fire. But yeah, great to see him out there. Ryan Strafford's come on strong, but this guy's going to be so tough to catch now. You know, he's had a couple of times there where some people have challenged him, but I tell you what, I mean, he's got back hold of it again. And I don't think he knows what to do next year. I know there's thoughts of him going to the 600 Elite, but whether he, I think he's talking about an MV Augusta or something.
Wow. Well, we'll certainly see what happens. He's the man to beat, though, at the moment. There's no doubt about that. As we see Richie Thornton there on that yellow Kawasaki chasing down Ryan Strafford, who really has just found something in the last few rounds. He's got a lot of momentum. There's Blunt, number 13. You can see there a couple of GP1 machines that might look a little bit out of place. They are not Golden Era Superbikes. There's a couple of GP1 freshman riders in.
Yeah, because we have a freshman class for people who are just coming out to start to play on bikes in the GP1 class. GP1s is just been full up, so this has been a good option to overflow them into here. However, at the end of this part of the season, they've started to get a bit good, and so they don't interfere with these guys. Next year we're going to have a change, but I'll talk to you about that later.
Yep, we'll talk about that in race 2. They certainly are interfering at the moment. Martin Stanier there tried to go right up the inside of one of them, didn't work out, and then he lost a place to Nick Williamson as well. Of course, that's what happens when riders gain confidence and experience. So we'll see what their fate is later on in race 2. This is Ryan Strafford then up ahead of Thornton. These guys at the moment trying to chase down John Dieterman, lapping in the low 111s. But Dieterman's lap record of a 109 still stands. Blunt there in 4th place. There is Williamson and Martin Stanier. Richie Harrison, always a threat here, although Richie Harrison, I would imagine, every time he returns to Anglesey, will always remember that horrific crash that he had and put him out for most of the following season.
I think if this guy had appeared on the scene, we might have had a different complexion on the championship. He's got progressively faster and faster in this class. And of course there's James Lodge. When he came in, you know, he made a big difference. And I think that, you know, if you've got all those kind of guys come in right from the start of the season, it probably could have stopped John Dieterman from dominating the championship like he has.
Yeah, he's been a very, very difficult rider to stop all year, but well, you never know, he might decide to actually stay and defend his championship for one more season. Stratford is in second place at the moment, holding off Thornton. I mean, this actually, funnily enough, this race kind of sums up the championship, because Dieterman's out there at the front, leading, got a nice comfortable gap. Then you've got Stratford and Thornton, who are only separated by 20 points coming into this weekend, scuffling away for second and third in the championship. Exactly what we're seeing here on circuit at Anglesey. Although Richard Blunt might have something to say about things in a moment if he can get himself up to temperature. Of course, Richard Blunt has been just racing all over the place so far this year. Hasn't been able to compete at every round of Thundersport.
Yeah, everywhere he's been, hasn't he?
Certainly has. Here is Dieterman though, number 1. Preston rider on that team Baxi Yamaha.
Yeah, just to clarify, obviously Richard Thornton has been around all year. It's just that he's come on song, you know, towards this end of the season. And, you know, if he'd have come in and sort of been right at the sharp end from the very start. But, you know, we all have to learn, and we all have to, you know, make differences to our bikes, etc., etc. There's various reasons what make people better, and confidence is obviously one of those things.
Certainly is. I can see that Ryan Stratford's got some consistency under his belt as well. He's moved into second place and is giving Richie Thornton quite a few things to think about here in this race. Dieterman is lapping in the 111s, as is Stratford and Thornton, but of course this is the gap you can see that he's got on circuit. Quite surprising to see Richard Blunt struggling here, number 13, lapping 113. Expected a bit more of him.
Yeah, but there are, as we said before, there are various reasons. They've been working on the bike all weekend, and sometimes, you know what it's like, you can sometimes not get the bike right until the end of the weekend. But if you look at MotoGP riders and World Superbike riders, you know, it'll be like the final race, they'll maybe get the ensemble right in World Superbikes, and MotoGP just get it right for the race, or maybe not, as the case may be. And certainly we're not at that level. So, you know, it's understandable that it takes a while to get these bikes set up for a certain circuit.
Just saw there one of the freshman GP1 riders going up the inside of Blunt into turn 1. That was Luke Blackburn. So Dieterman leads from Stratford and Thornton. That's your top 3 Dymag Golden Era Superbike class. Then, number 83 there is Ben Hollingworth, GP1 freshman rider. Then you've got Nick Williamson. Now, Nick Williamson, as we see a change there for second. Stratford a bit too hot into Rocket, and Thornton goes past him. Nick Williamson at the start of the year had a lot of consistency. He was up in second overall in the championship, but missed a few rounds, had a few crashes as well. Richie Harrison now coming into the party. See the number 48 rider there just coming through on that melted slider Suzuki. Championship winning bike, that one. In the past, 212 and 83. There you can see, well, Sid mentioned the GP1 freshman riders making a nuisance of themselves. They're doing exactly that here. Stop ahead of Williamson, Harrison, Blunt, and there's Vince Carlton on that Moto 46 VCR Ducati 996.
It's a beautiful machine, is that?
Yeah, still look. The great thing about those machines is they still don't look that old to me. I still think they look so lovely on circuit, those Ducatis.
I'd happily have that in a cabinet in my lounge, I've got to tell you. I'm not so sure your mum would like it, but...
Probably not. Here we see them, GP1 freshman riders heading around Church Corner then and up towards Rocket.
I'll tell you what isn't funny. I mean, all this weekend, all the other classes and lap records have been shattered everywhere. And these guys don't look to be hanging about. And yet, like, the fastest lap in this race, John Dieterman, and he's a second and a half off his lap record. And it's amazing, that, isn't it?
Certainly is. Really is amazing. Kev Handel here, Alpha Hair Academy Suzuki rider, having a bit of fun. Go on then, Sid. We won't wait. We'll tell us now. Last lap flag, is there enough time?
Yeah, well, what we're going to do next year is we're going to have a class that will be on this grid called the GP1 Classics. And you can look online on our website and find out what bikes can go in there, but it's largely like the pre-injection R1s, the Fireblades, and a plethora of other machinery that people are going to love, that have been asking us since the year dot to find a class 4. So they're going to be on this grid, but with a split start so that they don't get in each other's way. And GP1 freshmen will be put back on the GP1 grid where it belongs.
So we're talking about the 1998 Yamaha R1.
Yes, 99.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that's good news.
Carby R1.
I'm pretty sure there's quite a few of them kicking around.
I'm sure there is.
Well, John Dieterman here at the moment, in charge of the championship, in charge of this race. Richie Thornton. Oh dear, he was in second, he was in control, and Ryan Strafford has gone past him. Richie Thornton's heart rate will be going some now, and he's lost that second place. That will be a real blow to him. What an easy race that was for John Dieterman. Just went through the motions and has the glory. Ryan Strafford there has pinched 20 points in second place from his rival Richie Thornton in the battle for second overall. Well, Dieterman not really tested properly there. Strafford does take second ahead of Thornton. Williamson was fourth, Richie Harrison was fifth, and Vince Carlton sixth overall. Now you see the top three, Dieterman, Strafford and Thornton. And the GP1 freshman boys, Ben Hollingworth the winner, ahead of Rob Heritage and Andrew Pollard.
Richie, third place, talk us through it.
It was a good race. Ryan was riding really defensive, good race. Didn't give him many opportunities till he made a little mistake there towards the end. And I got him, but unfortunately I made a mistake again and he got me back. But really enjoyed that race. It's hot out there and I think the tyres were sliding around a little bit more than before, but it's just as hard for everyone else.
You've been here before, have you?
About 7-8 years ago I was here, so it's been a while, yeah.
Excellent. Well, I mean, it is very hot, as you say, and makes it really difficult, but great when it's great racing. It looked fab.
Smashing race, yeah, really enjoyed it.
And sponsors to thank?
Yeah, Case Suspension, R&G, Crash Protectors, Whole Beach Tyres, TA Creative, OP Oils, and sorry if I've forgotten anyone else, but that's it.
My goodness. Well, I think it's fair to say, I mean, you've had a tough year, up and down year, but you seemed to turn the corner at Rockingham. You've come here and getting used to the podium life again.
Absolutely. It's been a hard slog. You know, as you say, the problem started at Rockingham last year and they seem to develop. I remember a nice trip in the ambulance to the hospital here last year. And it's been a slow development. You know, it has taken 12 months. You know, at the beginning of this year, we were running mid-pack, and we've just worked at it and built it. And you know, now, you know, I like to think that we're regular up on the podium again, which is where the team deserves to be and where I think I should be.
So next year, though, you're going to chase John a bit harder?
I won't be chasing John because he's not in this class anymore next year, is he? So he's hanging up his boots. I think he's going to 600s. Wish him all the best going there. But yeah, I'll be back. Yeah, I think it'll be a good year. You know, if Richie sorts his engine out and gets a fast motor in it, it'll be challenging. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think you're going to be alone. I hear tell that there's several other people coming out to play. You might be surprised, but it'll be good anyway. Great racing, and people to thank me.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to thank my dad again. You know, he's always working on the bike. He probably doesn't get the recognition he deserves. Sponsors, Pressform, Wards, Continental Tyres, Yorkshire Aluminiums, Koval's over in the States, and everybody else, KDC. You know, there's so many. I just got to thank you all. Fantastic.
John, another fantastic win. You had a brilliant day yesterday, and you must feel like you got one hand on that championship cup again.
In a way, yeah. I mean, we're coming to this round with, I think, 148 points. There's a mathematical chance we could win it, but I know Ryan's riding really strong at the minute, so we knew it would go to probably Donington and Cadwell. This weekend's all about trying to be smooth, to be honest. I'm not going for any lap records like I did last year, because last year when we tried it, I said to Dad, watch this, and then we were putting it back at Van, all broken up, so I wasn't going to do that again. So we're just going to take it easy and try and be smooth and hopefully come out of it quite safe.
Well, Ryan just let a little secret go that you can maybe tell everybody about it, that you're going to hang your boots up as far as Golden Era Superbikes are concerned and you're going to play on 600s.
Yeah, Ryan's not got any right to say that. Yeah, we've sold the bike now. As soon as I've finished with it, the new owner's got it. We've ordered a new MV 675, MV Augusta, and next year we'll be in 600 Elites.
Excellent. Can't wait to see that. That'll be fantastic. And any sponsors to thank?
Yeah, thank you for Baxter Heating. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do this. My dad as well, who's tirelessly working on bike. I've had a fuel pump failure this morning, so we had to solder up the wires for that, so we did that. My brother, my Janet, my wife, my mum and Mark, who came to out yesterday, and Poppy as well. Hiya Poppy, that's my little niece. Visor Vision and Continental Tyres, who have been fantastic for us this year, really good.
Ben, a win there, you must be well pleased.
I'm pleased it's over, Sid. That was the hardest race of my life. It was a hell of a scrap I had going on with Luke. Really unfortunate, he had an off up on the top right hand corner, so we couldn't continue it all the way to the line. But yeah, I'm absolutely capped with the win.
Well, at the end of the day, you know, you have to be in it to win it, and of course, if you're both pushing hard, that is going to be inevitably one of the consequences.
It certainly is, and there was a couple of moments in there where I thought it might have been me. The weather conditions being very hot, back tyre was getting a bit squirmy, so yeah, it was just a case of nursing that to the end, but again, trying to be as fast as I could be. Yeah, hard race, but thoroughly chuffed with the win.
And there's a shout out to some people, isn't there, obviously?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Royal Marines Motorsport team, all the sponsors that get behind them, Sparklight Racing, GB Racing, Easy Grips on board, Hell Performance Brake Lines. I'm sure there's some that I've missed that I apologise. My dad, he's bought me a new set of tyres this weekend, so Dad, going to need some more of them. And a big shout out to my twin girls, it was their birthday this weekend, so happy birthday Courtney and Chelsea. And of course, the biggest one of all, the missus. Couldn't have done it without her, so thank you, Rachel.
Well, these boys are looking forward to race 2. Let's hope they're on the ball. Coming up in a minute.
Continental, get the grip.
Race 2 for the Dymag Wheels Golden Era Superbikes here at Anglesey. It's round 7 of the 2016 Championships with Thundersport GB. With 2 to go after this, Donington and Cadwell. Richard Blunt here. I think we'll probably be hoping that he can put something together here in this race if his bike will play ball. Teamwork hard as ever. Portico Sport Kawasaki team. John Dieterman there, obviously the man to stop. Ryan Strafford here was second earlier. In the background there we just saw 71. Richie Thornton. Lots of usual players here in this championship, and the freshman riders as well out to play. Eyes on the lights at the top right corner. They go out. Good start there from Dieterman as ever. The championship leader on board with Blunty, but Dieterman gets him. These two have had some proper scraps over the years, Blunt and Dieterman. They now go into the banking, and this is a much better start from Blunt, it has to be said. He's on terms at least with John Dieterman this time around. In third is Martin Stanier. Good start from him, number 1-2-1. Then it's Strafford and Thornton, who seem to be magnetised together at the moment. Further back there, you just saw 38, Andrew Pollard. He's one of our freshman riders. There are the Superbike boys. Kev Howdle up alongside Richie Harrison. Nick Williamson up there as well. As we now go into Rocket for the first time. Some interesting lines there, and to be honest with you, that looked like it was coming quite a long way off. Outbraking himself, tight line, had nowhere else to go, and that is, I think, Ben Hollingworth that has just gone down up at the top at Rocket. Hopefully riders up and okay. In fact, we can confirm the riders are up and okay, but we lose a few already in this race. Dieterman has the advantage early on from Blunt. Then a small gap back to Stanier, Strafford and Thornton. Then it's 2-1-2, Luke Blackburn, first of the freshman riders. Richie Harrison desperately trying to break away from those freshman riders and join in with this pack. He's definitely got the capability of staying with them. And around the banking come the leaders. Oh dear. But we've lost Richie Thornton. And you just kind of knew, didn't you, that there was a crash coming there somewhere along the lines. And there it is, 71. Richie Thornton has gone down, and so his charge for second overall in the championship has gone. Well, I don't know what's happened here, but whatever changes are made, Richard Blunt has said, well, I told you I hadn't gone anywhere, and we're going to revisit 2015 for a bit here, I think. John Dieterman, that was a big crash there. And that's Mr. Howdle who's gone down. Kev Howdle going a bit too hot into Rocket, tried to crank it over anyway, didn't work out. A few fallers here. Stanier there and Strafford, both those guys know each other very well from their Street Fighter riding, and Kev Howdle limps away from the scene. Looks like he might just be in a bit of bother there. Dieterman and Blunt then. Here we go. Just as we saw a few years back, there's some good battles and interesting battles there. We've got Sid here with me in the commentary box. Of course, last year, Sid, Dieterman and Blunt head-to-head at all times in the Golden Era Superbikes, and they're just behind them in the battle for third here. You've got Stanier and Strafford, who have got some history as well in the old Street Fighter class.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. These two were, as you say, always at it. And of course, Blunty looked good, hence he put it on pole position. So you knew that he did have it in the tank. Quite what happened in race one, I'm not really sure. But it's good, you know, he needs to be pushed as John. He needs to be pushed. He likes it. He doesn't like, you know, although he wants races to win, obviously, he likes a race. Great to see Martin Stanier out here. When he does come out with us, always puts on a really good show on that Suzuki.
Yeah, he does. We see there Richie Harrison and Nick Williamson just having a scrap as well. So some good battles all the way through the field. We just saw there a moment ago the yellow flag over at Rocket. That was from that crash from Kev Howdle the lap before. So Blunt wasn't allowed to overtake at that point. Here he is on the Portico Sport Kawasaki. He'll be desperate just to get one over on Dieterman, you feel, as Strafford uses all of the available exit on the start-finish straight to try and hunt down his old foe, Martin Stanier. Strafford now making a regular habit of featuring on that podium. Ever really spent that long off it, but certainly there have been moments at the start of the season where things just couldn't quite come together, but he's got his confidence back together now, and things are starting to come together. Here comes Richard Blunt then, this time no yellow flags into Rocket, and he closes up the gap at the front. John Dieterman, if he's got a pit board in a moment, we'll see plus naught. Blunt can show him a front wheel. I reckon there might even be a wry smile on the face of John Dieterman, because he's not really tested so far today, certainly not in race one. It's the battle there between 48 Harrison and 6 Williamson, 5th and 6th place, those riders. Further back, good scrap going on for the for the freshmen, sorry. I was about to say freestyle there. Maybe they are riding freestyle, but Rob Heritage, Luke Blackburn and Andy Pollard are scrapping it out for those freshman positions. Towards the banking we go. Dieterman at the moment still in pole for this one. Ooh, we lost a bit of drive there, John Dieterman. Will that just give Blunt a chance as they go around Church Corner? They exit. Blunt, is he close enough to get into the slipstream? I think he might just be too far away for now. So we'll have to wait for another opportunity. On board with Blunty now then. Into Rocket. Left-hander. Blind entry uphill and slightly downhill into Rocket out. Catches a lot of people out, that does. Change direction. Get on the power, be careful of the high side into Peel Corner, which seems to have caught a lot of riders out so far this weekend. Further back here we see now Strafford and Stanier attacking it, and Stanier then has lost out to Strafford. Strafford has caught and passed his old rival. Good job there from the Honda man. Oh, Dieterman a bit wide out of the corkscrew. So all of this encouragement for Blunt in second place as they cross the line. Mirror imaging their own lap times. Blunt there almost had to sit up We now ride with him around turn 1, hitting the rev limiter there for a moment, tipping it into the banking. Can he put Dieterman under some pressure?
I'll tell you what could have happened here, Steve, because I just happened to pass these two talking, and John Dieterman, who'd been persuaded to go on to Continental tyres by Ryan Strafford, was trying to convince Blunty to go on, and he said he was going to give them a try. Do you know, I wouldn't mind betting you.
Oh, there's a gap there, but he's seen it. The door wasn't open for long, but Blunt has just darted through. Sorry, Sid. Oh, yeah, I mean, if he's tried the Continentals out, well, what a move that would have been.
Yeah, I reckon that's, do you know, I bet you that's exactly what happens. So he's persuaded him that they're good tyres just for it to go out and beat him on.
Yeah, well, that's really backfired somewhat, hasn't it, at this moment in time? Blunty then goes through. That was pretty brave there, late on from Blunty. He saw slight opportunity. Very rare that you see John Dieterman really giving you any opportunities, and so the door was left slightly ajar, and Richard Blunt slings his Kawasaki straight up the inside, and now tries to build a lead. So, John Dieterman tested. Of course, John Dieterman is in a slightly different position championship-wise to Richard Blunt. Blunty hasn't been here all season. He's 6th in the championship. He can still climb up a few places, but Dieterman has a lead to guard. And would he really want to put up the fight? You'll find out here in a moment. Richard Blunt tries to get himself tucked into that Kawasaki. John Dieterman, I just don't think, because it's Blunty, I don't think John Dieterman's willing to give this fight up. Had it have been anyone else, a wild card if you like for the weekend, maybe John Dieterman would have said, yeah, you can have it. I'll take the 20 points, thanks. But with it being Blunty, these two were so evenly matched last year, it was almost a shame to see one of them end up as champion and one the runner-up. There is Richard Harrison, number 48, up ahead of Nick Williamson, managing that gap well. Further back still, that fight goes on between Strafford and Stanier. The last lap flag's out. It's fair to say that Dieterman's going to have to put in some lap here to try and catch Richard Blunt.
But Richard's, he's knowledgeable, isn't he? And he's not a stranger to leading at the front. So, you know what it's like when some inexperienced riders get to the front and they don't really know what to do. They've got nobody to follow, but Richard is pretty good on this.
He certainly is. He's got the experience from it, but he's not adverse to one or two moments at times he's had. He made a right meal out of winning the Golden Era Superbike Championship a few years back now at Donington Park. I think he had to finish in, I can't remember, he didn't really have to push the boat out too far, and he really was pushed. Rob Wilson it was that went on to win all the races. And Blunt, I think, on the final lap of the last race, just about got the job done. But here, he has been in control, which is nice to see for it. So we will have a different winner in the Dymag Wheels Golden Era Superbike class. John Dieterman remains in control of the championship, but race 2 here at Anglesey belongs to Richard Blunt. A good last lap from Dieterman, it has to be said, but it wasn't enough. And Richard Blunt is back to winning ways again on the Portico Sport Kawasaki. John Dieterman goes through on him there. A pair of them don't even exchange glances, really, but there you go. Blunt wins it from Dieterman. Strafford 3rd, Stanier 4th, Harrison 5th, and Nick Williamson in 6th place. There's your top 3 then: Richard Blunt, John Dieterman, and Ryan Strafford. And in the freshmen, Rob Heritage, the winner, Luke Blackburn and Andrew Pollard. Let's look at the championship. No surprise to see that John Dieterman well in control of this. He could actually have the series wrapped up on day 1 when we get to Donington Park next month. Strafford is 2nd ahead of Daunton, Harrison 4th, Williamson 5th, Blunt 6th, and in the GP1 freshman, slightly closer, I think it's fair to say, just a single point, covering Ben Hollingworth and Andrew Pollard.
Ryan, another 3rd place. I know you'd rather be on top spot, but you've got to be pleased with your results of late.
Yeah, points mean prizes. We've got a championship to think about. We can't win 1st place. Dieterman's running away with that, but we sat 2nd. My closest competitors have all finished behind me this weekend. Been a good weekend. Bike's still in one piece, no scratches on the leathers. What more can I say? I'm happy. Time to go home and have a beer, I think.
And his dad happy? Good old Chris.
Yeah, he's happy, yeah. He's got the bike to wash now, so he's over the moon.
Just to wash, not to put together.
Just to wash, it makes a change. He likes washing it.
And anyone else to thank apart from Dad?
All the sponsors, KDC, Wards, Pressform and Continental Tyres as well. It's been a fantastic weekend. Thank you very much.
Well done, Ryan.
Thank you.
John, second place on that one. Did you have to race hard, or did you think, do you know what, I want to bring it home in one piece?
No, I didn't know anyone would be behind me. I could hear a bike coming out of Erpin, and I can always hear a bike on with that thing. And I thought, there's no one behind me. And I ran wide, and no one passed me. And then one ran wide again. And when Richard come past, I thought, right, okay, race on. Tried to stay with him. He was riding well, but I was running wide in a few places, and you couldn't quite get it. So settled for second it. And in fact, I thought I had it on last lap, but I didn't see the checker flag, and he was running wide, and I thought he's missed a gear. So I was still racing.
Anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, my dad, back seating, TW suspension, Continental tyres, and it's an old Continental podium for us in Golden Era Superbike, so that's brilliant. My brother, my wife, mum and dad, anybody who's helped us out, and Richard as well for putting on a good race, because that was brilliant. That.
Excellent. Yeah, Graham will be really made up at Continental, won't he?
He'll be loving it.
Well done, John.
All right, thank you. See you.
Richard, what a fantastic win, and I mean at the moment John's on fire, so quite tough to beat. I mean, I know you've had your own problems this weekend, but when you've actually been able to race, you've gone really well.
Yeah, we had a good day yesterday, which managed to get us the pole on for the grid. But yesterday for race 2, we went to change the tyre, and as we changed it, one of the bearings had collapsed inside the wheel. So we were lucky we'd found it, and we spent the time running around trying to find it. And all the people, John Dieterman gave us the bearing, so he knocked it out of his wets. Luckily, it's not a wet day, kinda, and so I managed to get out for today, which was fantastic. I had a few problems in race 1, but race 2 we changed a few things, and yeah, it seems to have gone our way now. So awesome. So
that is sportsman at its ultimate, isn't it, really? Which, in fairness, is what the Thundersport GB ethos is all about, the sportsmanship. He knocks the bearings out of his wet wheels to give to you to beat him on race day.
Yeah, give him his due. Yesterday I came up to him in race 2 only about 20 minutes before, and he didn't really say a lot. He ran, got a wheel, knocked it out, gave it to me, told me to run and get it put in and ready for race 2. But yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have been racing there. You can't ask for any better than that. That's the lovely thing about the paddock. So yeah, no, great, and thank you very much to John.
Awesome, and people to thank.
Yeah, a massive thanks to Moto Plus. I managed to sort us out with all my leathers and everything else, and I may have binned it once or twice and written a few things off, so it's the first time I've been able to say thank you to him, so big thanks, guys. Rock Oil, DP, Portico Sport, Equa Motorcycles, Hell Performance, again for sorting us out. Avon had been given some tyres, but a massive thanks. We swapped over this for this last one, and they seem to really come out well for us. Coastline Graphics, Rapid Light Transform, DB Telecoms, Matt Pearson, Equa Motorcycles, there's everyone. Portico, Phil for giving us the bike. So yeah, it's a massive effort from everyone. So thank you very much for your help.
Excellent. Well done, Rich, and safe journey home.
Thank you very much.
Andrew, you look all hot and bothered. But you've had a few results. I mean, I know you've spent quite a lot of time this year at top spot, but not this weekend.
No, it's been a nightmare weekend, to be honest. I came off Saturday, hurt my arm, damaged the bike, and I've never really got into a groove with it, and it's a pity because it's probably the best circuit in the UK for scenery, and the fans have been brilliant, and the weather's been fantastic to us. It's just a shame I couldn't get on it, really.
Well, you're still on the podium, and that's not the end of the world. You're still massive points collection. Have you got anybody to thank?
Yeah, Roads and Track, Ian Rose, who does all the bike setup for me, and the pit crew of Sam, Zach and Philippa, as always, helping me out.
Luke, second place in the GP1 freshman class, and you've had some good results this weekend, really, haven't you?
We have, yes. We got 2 first on the Sunday, but unfortunately in the first race today we did crash out on one from last lap but leading, but these things happen, so bring it on for Dodden. But I just want to say a big hello, because I've got a family going through a difficult time at the minute and they're struggling with their child and stuff, so I just want to send me love, and all the family send their love to you, Dolly, Rose, so get well soon. And a big thank you to Brett at South Dean Equestrian, Track Prep UK for driving all the way over here to sort the bikes out for me. We've got Lions Communications, we've got Health and Garage, and NK Industrials for the paint jobs and that you do. Thank you very much.
Rob, well, that's a beautiful smile to be going home with. You're going to have trophies on the dashboard. You can keep looking at them all the way home, can't you?
Yeah, mate, I'm absolutely over the moon with that. I mean, I've had every position this weekend now. I've had fourth, third, second, and first now.
Do you want to rephrase that? But anyway.
Yeah, I'm over the moon. Over the moon. That was a good race, really good race.
Excellent, and it's just awesome views and awesome place to be, and obviously people who help you.
Yeah, of course, Car Shop, my main sponsor, so they've put up some money this year, so big thanks to them. Big thanks to the old man as always. Parkit Racing have helped my suspension a lot this year, and I've got a lot more confidence in the bikes this last couple of rounds, so big thanks to them. And OP Oils for a bit of discount and stuff, so yeah, a lot of people to thank.
Excellent, well done, Rob.
Cheers, thanks a lot, mate, cheers.
Round 7 has been and gone. Anglesey done and dusted. Next up, the penultimate round of 2016 at Donington. Be sure to join us.